Amateur's Edge with Jerrian Sanders, Randy Wade, and A.D. Roberts.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be here, and you are listening to the Amateur's Edge. I am your co-host, A.D. Roberts.
Jerrian Sanders, the great.
Yo, and you know it's Randy Wade, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, today gonna be a fun show today, man. We're gonna be talking about athletes in the state of not just professional sports, but amateur sports as well. It's been a back and forth debate on if the athletes today are better than the athletes from yesterday. It's been a back and forth debate about if athletes are pampered a little bit more than they should be with all this taking time off and you know all the extra stuff they have access to. So we're taking callers throughout the show just to talk a little bit more about it, because you know I constantly have these conversations with the younger athletes how I feel from a skill perspective and from an athletic perspective they are more they're better because of what they have access to. I don't think they're technically smarter though. And it's always an argument about if, the guys from yesterday, especially in basketball, could they play and compete against the guys today? I saw a podcast the other day where Joe Budden was just going off on Michael Jordan, saying he doesn't compare to LeBron because Michael Jordan didn't see the same level of competition that LeBron saw, that LeBron does see. And, he was going in saying that who did they beat? It was the Supersonics. He was saying they were nobodies when they had Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, and he's got Xavier McDaniel. I'm like, Joe, I don't know if you was watching basketball back then or what.
Yeah.
He's saying the Pistons were nobody. He's saying the Sixers were nobody. He was just going in. And so, but there are a lot of young people who have these opinions, and again, I want to hear their opinions, and we have our arguments.
Yes,
back
we
and
want
forth.
everybody to call in. That's a must.
Well, let me go ahead and drop the number so they can call.
Drop the number.
Yeah, go ahead. Give us a call at 904-641-1010. That's 904-641-1010.
But Jerrian, fellas, wasn't it a game last night that they scored like 400 points?
That was ridiculous.
Is that competition?
So
competition? It's
that was
400
the
points
Kings
in the game.
against the Clippers. The final score was 176 to 175.
My goodness.
That's
so
insane.
That's competition, right? That's competition.
It was double overtime too now.
I might give it that, but still though.
175 points.
So are we just letting people just go to the basket, or is it the fact that we're just shooting 3-pointers now, or I don't know. I didn't watch the game.
When do we hit 200 in the game? If you're watching something like that,
it's coming.
And they don't play defense like that, right? And again, that's part of the argument that I have too. Is like back in the day, even if it was hand checking, and you may say that they were fouling or what have you, but they competed a little bit more. If you ask me, I don't think when you look at 176 to 175 score, that's like watching one of these ABA games, Jacksonville Giants games. They be scoring like 200 points or what have you. And that's no knock on that on them or what have you. But when you look at something like that, that's whew.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot. We just don't have that many defensive players in the game today. And if you just look on YouTube alone, parents always show videos of kids, practicing dribbling, kids practicing doing all these different things. But when does a parent show their kid practicing on defense? I haven't seen it.
Well, defense isn't glamorous. That's not glamorous to look at on the gram, right? It's never been a glamorous thing.
I got you, but that's where you get the muscle, man. That's where the heart come in at. You know what I'm saying? When you can get on the player and stay with them, make them turn. I used to teach my kids. You got to make them turn, turn them into another defensive player, stuff like that, man. And that's something that we need to show more, so more people can do it, because we don't play defense these days.
No, 100%. And I say the same thing when I look at these phenomenal athletes. I look at somebody like a Kyrie Irving and how well he moves with the ball.
Yes.
I'm like, you telling me you can't move like that without the ball?
There you go.
And defense all comes down to desire, right?
Yeah, desire and heart. You know what I'm saying? You got what's some players, man? Of course you got Pippen. You got Gary Payton. Not just old school players. You got some new school players that play some defense, man. You had those Matumbos and stuff like that. Dennis Rodman, Ben. What was Ben, man? Ben from
Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace.
Yeah,
What are Ben Wallace at, man?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's a different game, man. Speaking of basketball, how about last week's dunk contest?
I liked it, but I didn't like it at the same time. I agree with a lot of the analysts that, like, a lot of the big-time players are not doing it. Ja, stuff like that are not there. So I just think that it's not as big. But it was great. Dude had some crazy dunks.
Crazy.
Did you think they just got him in just for the dunk contest?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's a secret. They
Okay.
definitely brought him in for that.
So how long you think he'll be on the roster?
Oh, I think he already gone.
You already cut? That's crazy. He got his money, though.
Well, I don't know. We can check it out. But that dunk was phenomenal. Like, when I saw it live, I did not realize that he tapped the backboard.
Oh, I hear you.
So he jumped over two people, windmill, tapped the backboard, dunked it backwards. I'm like,
But
that was some
But just
sick
imagine Ja and Zion in the dunk contest.
Ja, Zion, even Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, in the dunk contest. It would go back to what it was. But I think people are afraid to, like, fail because doing these amazing dunks are very, very hard because dunks are very, very difficult now.
Uh-huh.
I think people are scared to fail.
I feel you.
They don't practice
I feel
it
you.
enough.
So you say it didn't have enough star power, basically. It didn't have enough
give me the star
You're
power.
right.
Give me the big dog.
When Dominique Jordan, all the boys,
All
yeah,
that. Not
you're
not
right.
even that. Vince Carter.
Yeah.
Vince Carter did some crazy dunks.
Vince only did that one dunk contest, though. Remember?
Yeah.
Because you could never top that collection of dunks.
So
history.
so McGrady did a dunk contest, right? And I don't think
He did. He did it the same year with Vince.
Yeah, and I don't think he did that good. And I think that's what the stars now don't want to do. They don't want to, like, miss dunks and stuff because they probably don't. practice
LeBron
them.
did put it out there. He would never do a dunk contest because he would have to win. There's no way he could. And I think that might have set a precedent. I'm not sure. I don't want to blame it on him, but he said it himself. And it kind of disappointed me because
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be the ultimate competitor.
Yeah.
Right? Don't say you're not going to be in it because
Kobe did it.
Kobe did it.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what's taken away from it because that is the premier thing on All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
Because the game ain't nothing. So
The game,
the premier thing is the dunk contest. I mean, three-point contest is good too, and all this other skills challenges. I don't even care about that, but I care about that dunk contest. That's what we was born and raised doing at the crib.
Good deal. So on another note, keeping up with this whole thing going on with the University of Alabama and the player who's been charged with killing a young lady. News came out this week that the gun actually belongs to their superstar athlete Brandon Miller, who is looking like the best player in the country.
Yeah, he does.
And this all came out, I think, the next day or two. He goes out and scores like 41 points against South Carolina. So the debate out now is, should he be allowed to play?
And, gentlemen, let's hold this. We're going to pay some bills real quick. And that's a hot topic. That's major. Mm-hmm. So, listen, this segment was brought to you by Bank of England Mortgage Jacksonville, helping home buyers and homeowners accomplish their financial goals. Head on over to www.boejax.com and get to know their dedicated team. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Denny Thompson. Join me for the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gators podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
We understand today's real estate challenges. With low inventory and high demand, you need a mortgage partner who can help navigate your financial needs. Bank of England Mortgage takes pride in helping clients make informed decisions. From application to closing, every step of the loan process is made in their local branch. For more information, go to boejax.com or call 992-1000. Bank of England Mortgage is a division of Bank of England, NMLS 418481, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Don't miss the Players' Championship March 7th through 12th at TPC Sawgrass. Invite your friends and family to enjoy the ultimate fan experience, complete with bites from your favorite local restaurants and front row access to the PGA Tour's best players. While on site, be sure to visit the expanded PGA Tour fan shop to stock up on this year's championship gear. Secure your spot at the iconic stadium course today. Tickets and parking passes are on sale now at theplayers.com.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Hi, Kathy with Kathy's Table here, Jacksonville's #1 meal prep company. We're excited to partner with B3 Better and offer a new 1-month fitness challenge to help you not just maintain, but crush your fitness goals. This is a virtual challenge through our partner app starting March 20th. It's free to join, and top performers will receive prizes from B3 and Kathy's Table. Visit b3better.com/events for more details and to register. Whether it's food or fitness, Kathy's Table and B3 have you covered.
There are many fish in the sea, but there's only one Captain Kevin catching them. The Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
I limit it out.
Thursday nights at 6.
Oh my gosh, giant, dude, giant.
On 1010XL AM.
It's time to discover the spirit of Trinidad. Join us at Tobacco Cove this Saturday from 1 to 4 to experience the history and pleasure of the Espiritu. Come and try the cigar collaboration between AJ Fernandez and Rafael Nadal from Trinidad Cigars. Enjoy food, prizes, and a great atmosphere, as well as great deals on Trinidad cigars. This Saturday from 1 to 4 for a taste of Trinidad only at Tobacco Cove on Bay Meadows Road in San Jose.
I'm Justin Norndorf, creator of DVS, a medically backed pitching development program designed to develop young throwers' arms safely. We are excited to be launching our Florida Development Center at B3 Better in Jacksonville. To celebrate DVS, we are offering a free virtual coaches clinic and also giving away 20 free teen DVS and athletic assessments at B3 Better. To register for the clinic and your team's chance to win, go to b3better.com/DVS and secure your spot today.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Amateur's Edge on 1010XL, powered by B3 Better Sports Performance. Man.
So we're just going to jump right into it and talk about the state of basketball and today's athletes versus yesterday's athletes and how we feel about it. And we actually have a caller on the line. Bruce, how you feeling today, my man?
Hey there, Jerry. I'm well. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Doing good, man. So what do you think, man? Do you think the guys from yesterday can compete with the guys today, and how do you feel about that?
With the way the game is played, referring to basketball, with the way the game is played, a lot of guys, i.e. Charles Oakley, Rick Mahorn, would probably, have a tough time. But the same can be said for a lot of guys that play in today's game, playing in the yesteryear. So, I guess it's just they're just a product of the time. Training back then was, I'm not going to say it was Neanderthalish, whatever, but it was what they knew to be best for those guys at that time. And as things have evolved, training has since evolved as well. Over at B3, whom I refer to as possibly one of the best trainers in the Southeast, Jerrian's knowledge of today's athlete is, second to none.
I appreciate that, my man.
So, yes, but I recently heard a comment from Isaiah Thomas was talking about that Steph Curry probably would have only averaged about 17, 18 points, and the question was, how do you know that and why? Due to the physicality of the game and the way it was officiated back then, which made sense. So I have to concur with what with his assessment.
It's a lot to say too about like the training, because it's funny. I was reading this book called Showtime about the Lakers, and leading up into Game 6 or 7 of the championship game, Pat Riley had them guys in there scrimmaging hard, running hard sprints in a hot gym, and Magic ended up injuring his hamstring, and Byron Scott on their quest for a three-peat. So people back then didn't know better, right? They didn't know about training and how to take care of the body and proper rest and all that. So, that just goes to the point that you were talking about as far as training and getting in preparation.
Yeah, back then they thought more was better.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bruce,
and back then, rest wasn't considered part of your training. I'm sorry because you. Go ahead.
No, good, Bruce. I just want to let you know, man. I took two things from what you said earlier, man. That's a good comment you said. Jerrian is definitely a good trainer, but he looks like a Neanderthal. So I agree with you.
He does. He does. You know, he's not a product of his environment. I'll say that. You know, he's definitely not a product.
We concur.
But luckily,
this is terrible.
Luckily, you know, Eric is there. You know, to sit up there and to be the body of the company. You know.
It's a good thing I got a high self-esteem, man.
This is terrible, man.
Bruce, hey, man, we thank you, man. Keep listening in. We thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.
Always.
Take care of him, man.
This is the best.
We got another caller?
Who we got?
Caller, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
What's your name, caller? What's your name? Where you at?
I'm Travis out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, for sure. What side? What side? We want to know what side.
On the west side is the best side.
Yes, sir.
I just heard the west side in it. I heard the spirit of the west side.
What you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the GOATs, man. You know, the conversation that's been going on since LeBron James broke the record.
Mm-hmm.
What about
LeBron James is the GOAT, man. LeBron James is the GOAT. Jordan is the Billy GOAT.
And what makes him the GOAT?
They just call Jordan the Billy GOAT? Bruh.
Because he got to
Billy
go
GOAT, man.
Why is that?
Yeah. No, because, man, it's just like the older school people are more, like, you can't change their mind, man. Like, I don't think they're going to respect what LeBron have brought to the game until he long gone, and then they're going to realize, but, man, just think about it from every perspective and the expectations that was on him, you know, when he first came in, man. Nobody lived up to the expectations like that.
So
Jordan didn't have the
he still didn't answer the question.
expectation, man.
Hey, Travis, so at the end of the game, right, you the coach. You getting paid $20 million to make a decision. Who you going to get a ball to, LeBron or Jordan?
I'm giving it to LeBron. You saying it's my team, right?
Why? Why is that? Why would you get a ball to LeBron?
I'm giving it to LeBron because I know it's a chance LeBron make the shot, and I know it's a chance that LeBron going to make a great pass and somebody else make the shot. Now, if y'all want to talk about percentages, that's one thing. But what y'all want to talk about when you speak on Jordan is the GOATness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what about the IQ of basketball, man? And when he make that pass, the person, he on the team because he on that team because they expect him to make that shot.
But you don't know. You don't know because you don't know what LeBron's going to do. You've seen a million times at the end of the game, but you just don't know what LeBron going to do, bro. It's just like having a girlfriend and, like, you don't know what she going to do. Like, you're like, that part. Like, when you give it to Jordan, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going down. So you're going to have that girlfriend that's going to do the thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's going. You know he's going to make that shot.
I will say this. I remember growing up, like, watching Michael Jordan go through that struggle. But once he got over that hump, because I wasn't a Jordan fan growing up. I was a Magic and Lakers, and I loved them. But every time he got that ball in the clutch, once he got over the hump, once he got through his growing pains, I'd never seen him not make the play to pull his team through. Once he got over that hump, like every time he got that ball, I was scared. When LeBron get the ball, I don't know what's gonna happen. I really just don't know. You don't have that same level of fear for LeBron that you have for Jordan.
And we just feel like your generation. I don't know how old you are, but we just feel like your generation is about stats. We about dominating and winning. We ain't trying to go to the club after the game. We ain't trying to be like with Dwayne Wayne doing that.
Though?
A stat.
What is a stat?
The stat it's going to be forgotten. Like through time, you got to understand all these players.
All-time scoring leaders not going.
No, not LeBron. I'm talking about a lot of these people like Russell Westbrook and stuff like that. That stuff is going to be forgotten.
All-time triple-double leader ain't going to be forgotten.
It's going to be forgotten. It's going to be about who win and who lose. Every season, do you think about what happened in the season, or do you think about who won the NFL, who won the Super Bowl? You think about who won the Super Bowl. You don't argue over did they beat Jacksonville in the third game. Like, you talk about the ultimate goal is to win.
Nah, but you can't always say that because you got people like DeAndre Hopkins. You know, at point, he ain't won no championship. But when we speak on receivers, we all know who was the best receiver that year. You know, when that topic come up, we know what's going on. But when you speak on LeBron James, any topic you bring up, his name going to come up. So that's why he my choice. And he my GOAT and Jordan the Billy GOAT. At the end of the day, he used to be the GOAT. Now he old. You know, he got to move out the way.
I got you.
So to that point, to that point, at some point, somebody's gonna surpass LeBron. So y'all generation gonna have to move out the way for him. Okay, I understand.
All right, Travis, man, we appreciate
Hey,
you. We appreciate you having me on the show. We got to go to the next caller, man. We appreciate you.
Hey, can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
Hey, what I ain't gonna do
Mhm.
is tell the younger guys that they lying about who they go to is. If the guy legitimate, I'm gonna let him be legitimate. I can't hang on to the past, man. You got to move forward. There's always somebody gonna be better than somebody one day. I appreciate your guys for letting me on.
I completely
Appreciate
agree. I completely agree with what he's saying. You know, at some point, you know, there is gonna be somebody that overtakes, you know, that next guy. I think you can't say enough about LeBron's accomplishments, especially with what he's had on his back since he was in 8th grade, 9th grade. Like nobody's had that type of expectation placed on them and accomplished it the way that he has. In basketball anyway, I don't know about like soccer or any, you know, you have your phenoms like your Alex Rodriguez's in baseball as he was coming up, you know, he was that GOAT, but for the most part you really don't see those guys excel to the level that he has when they have that much put on them at such a young age.
Yeah, the number again is 904-641-1010. Call in.
Good deal. You know, so the other conversation that, you know, we have is if those guys could play in this time or not. And, you know, for me, I say they could simply because of genetic coding, right?
Mhm.
So, prime example, maybe in the past 50 or 60 years back, it was impossible to run the 5-minute mile.
Mhm.
You know, your fastest people wasn't running a 5-minute mile. Now you have high school kids running 5-minute miles because of evolution and training and all that good stuff. So I say that to say, if those guys were born into this era, athletically they'll be more advanced. So could they play in this era? I definitely think so.
Yeah, I mean, if Gary Payton was in this area, not his son, but he was in this era, he would be able to dribble like the guys are dribbling today. And I definitely understand that.
Definitely. So, you know, it's just one of those things where that debate to me it's always relative to me. Like it's hard to compare because again, as time goes on and as evolution, you know, takes its course, you know, athletes are gonna evolve and they're gonna be bigger, they're gonna be faster, they're gonna be stronger. There's gonna be somebody that surpasses LeBron. Like when you look at his build, like the man's built like Karl Malone, but
yeah, they took a picture the other day.
But moves like Allen Iverson or what. I mean, he's not that quick, but when you look at his combination of skills and what he brings to the table, like it's unbelievable.
But the thing that, like, if we look at the amateur's edge side of it, the thing I want people to understand, you can have all these skills, you can be great, you know, you can be great, but the thing that a lot of players don't have is heart and toughness. You know, like, I mean, we talked about Ben Simmons before, you know, like, you got to have heart and toughness, and you need to instill that into your kids, man, at a younger age. That's something that can be instilled.
Definitely.
Through life, yeah.
So we have another caller on the phone. Ron, how you doing today, my man?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm enjoying the beautiful day here in Duval.
Okay.
But,
yeah, it is nice outside.
But yeah, I just wanted to touch on the fact that, you know, in the late 70s through to the mid 90s, the type of basketball they played back then was a lot different than the basketball they play now. The style, the physicality of it. I mean, Michael Jordan, when he played against the Detroit Pistons, okay, the Detroit Pistons, these dudes, I mean, they're the guy that they invented the face mask for, Bill Laimbeer. That dude, if he threw an elbow, he'd knock your eyeball out of the socket, man. That's what Jordan drove the lane on that guy.
Yeah, they're called the bad boys for a reason.
I'd like to see LeBron eat an elbow from Bill Laimbeer driving the
And so the new generation calls people like Bill Laimbeer soft and weak. He couldn't do this, he couldn't do that, but he had his purpose.
Oh my God, the guy was there to if you drove the lane on the Detroit Pistons, that guy was there to knock you out, to make you ever think about doing that again. And you know, and football's the same way now. Football's kind of got a little softer. They protect the quarterback more. I mean, a guy like Reggie White, he'd probably get flagged at least once a game if he played in today's game.
Definitely.
So, I mean, you can't really, as far as like player accomplishments, you got to realize that you're looking at in at the style of two different types of games that were played in two different eras. I mean, nowadays it's all about longevity and getting the most. Tom Brady playing till he's 50 years old and all this and that. But at the end of the day, the reason that guys back that played back in the 80s only had careers for 7-8 years was because their bodies just couldn't take the physical abuse of the game, and that's one of the reasons why they changed the nature of the game to what it is today. Which is more more conscious of injuries, especially like in football with head injuries and stuff. So, but that's just what I wanted to say. And you guys have a great one.
Man,
and it was always the Jags.
Oh yeah,
yes,
definitely.
sir, baby.
Where you coming in from? What side of Jacksonville?
I'm at the beach, man. Just chilling out.
All right, for sure. All right.
Good deal. Thanks for hopping on, Ron.
But he was definitely good, man, and he brought up a great point that we're going to talk about in the next segment. The sitting out. People pay a lot of money for these games, and these players just sit out. And it's like you got this player jersey on. You brought your kid to the game, your grandkid to the game, and you just want to go see him play, and he just sitting out on the sideline, not even hurt. Like, they didn't do that back in the day.
They did.
We'll talk about it in a little bit.
They did.
Well, listen, this segment was brought to you by First Coast Cargo. First Coast Cargo leads the freight transportation and logistics services market and is known as the region's most dependable and highly professional service provider. Contact First Coast Cargo toll-free today at 844-731-2137 for all your professional shipping needs. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
Coffee? Have a cup of coffee with Jacksonville's favorite son, Tony Baselli.
I don't suppose there's any possibility of getting an espresso or a cappuccino.
Breakfast with Baselli.
Brought to you by
Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm. Monday morning on 1010 XL.
High-flying action truly unlike anything. It's Daytona Supercross. For a chance to win tickets with VIP passes, answer this. How many times has Ricky Carmichael won the Daytona Supercross? Text the answer to 641-1010.
Waste Management is paying a $5,000 bonus to CDL drivers and heavy truck mechanics for jobs in Jacksonville, Green Cove Springs, Callahan, and St. Augustine. Apply online at wm.com/careers.
Equal opportunity employer. Here's Linda Beaver.
This month, Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet wants to show all our customers just how much we love them. How can we prove our love? Well, how about purchasing with a peace of mind? Every new vehicle comes with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, and every certified pre-owned comes with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Plus, this month only, every lady who purchases a vehicle will receive a free $500 gas card. Free gallons for Valentine's Day? I love it. This month, love yourself and love your car. Head to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to help you.
From the very beginning, 1010XL has encouraged and recognized the accomplishments of local scholar athletes.
Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Hi, I'm Tyler Oldenburg, a volunteer vice chairman with the Players Championship. The Players is proud to support the Tesori Family Foundation, which provides hope and healing hearts for children. It's 10 days until the Players.
Hicken here. Need your carpets cleaned right now. You'll get 3 rooms for $147, and the 4th room is free. Yeah, the 4th room is on me. Hottest price of the year. Just mention me. Dan. Zero res, man. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Zero res. It's the right way to clean.
Did you know Duck Duck Rooter is the area's go-to plumber? A 5-star Google-rated company, Duck Duck Rooter can take care of all of your plumbing repairs and upgrades. Need to switch from septic over to city sewer? Call the Duck. How about water heater repairs and replacement? You're just a duck away, or call away, for Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Hey, Hicken here. The Borland Groover Foundation proudly presents the annual March to Get Screened 5K race and 1-mile fun run, Sunday, March 26th. The race starts at 8 a.m. under the Fuller-Warren Bridge. The mission? To raise awareness and prevent colorectal cancer. All proceeds benefit the Borland Groover Foundation, a nonprofit organization devoted to helping the community and saving lives. Visit marchtogetscreened.com for more.
You've been injured in a car accident, and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car. Then it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah and Farah at 396-5555. Jacksonville.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, this is a hot discussion. If you want to call in, the lines are open today. 904-641-1010. That's 904-641-1010. Let's get this thing fired back up, guys.
Yeah, man. Carrying back on with that conversation with athletes sitting, I was just telling the guys, I remember when I was a kid, my dad took me to a couple of NBA games. One was the Bulls and one was to watch the Pistons. And, I was looking forward to that the whole month or however long. Once my dad told me he had them
Christmas.
Tickets, well, it was like Christmas. I'm getting ready to see Jordan. I'm about to see Isaiah. Like, those are my favorites. I modeled my game after Isaiah. It was everything to me. And had my dad took me to those games and Jordan would have been sitting and Isaiah sitting, boy, I would have been distraught.
That's this whole new thing of guys sitting out now.
Same thing with me. My ex-wife, my favorite player is Melo, and my ex-wife took me to Orlando for my birthday to the game, and and if I wouldn't have been able to see him play, I just would have been down, man. And we all know that pro sports is about the fans. If you take away the fans, you don't have pro sports.
It's entertainment. And same thing for my 13-year-old. He loves LeBron, and we went to go see the Lakers, and even though it was a preseason game, my son would have died had LeBron not played. So what is this thing going on where athletes just sitting out?
So understanding that the body and how in athletics, it does take a physical toll on your body to run and jump and exert so much energy night in and night out. And those guys do play through injuries, to be fair. And I'm sure what they're thinking is, this is how I'm going to prolong my career, right? I mean, LeBron does this, right? He's been doing it the past couple of years. And here he is, year 20, playing at an optimal level. Now he does a whole lot. He spends a couple of $1 million a year on his body as well, and I'm not sure if all those other guys are doing that, but that's part of the thought process in taking those nights off, is prolonging the career or even being able to finish up down the stretch for the season. So that's the thought process. But at the end of the day, as a fan, I don't want to hear that if I'm paying a couple of $100.
Well, I think the bottom line that'll make this question a whole lot easier is just lower the ticket prices. So if LeBron is not going to play. Lower the ticket prices so people can afford to come to the games, because people are spending their well-earned, hard work for money for these games. So if you lower the ticket prices, the people that can't afford them, they can be able to come back and see him on the time that he's playing.
Or does he get a game check that game? Do they still pay him when they sit? I guess if they're hurt, they still get paid. But if it's just a voluntary, I'm sitting out because I'm tired, I wonder if they still get paid.
I don't know. That's something we got to look up and see. Get that information out. But I don't know. But just lower the prices, man. These prices are crazy, man. Crazy. They sit out in football, but mostly towards the end of the season when you're going to the you're going to the playoffs, or the season is over with. Mm-hmm. And I can understand that. They don't have that many games, but baseball they don't really sit out like that, do they?
I'm not sure. Baseball isn't as physically demanding outside of pitchers, right?
Yeah.
That's why they pitch. They have a 4 or 5 man rotation or what have you. So it's physically demanding to deliver those pitches at that velocity in which they do it, day in and day out. So they get their breaks.
Okay, well, I got an idea. So what about something like, LeBron James sat out a game, but everybody at that game gets something different that the average fan wouldn't get. Maybe, I don't know, autograph, something like that. It's just something to, because I'm telling you, you come to see LeBron. You come to see your favorite players. And just for them sitting out, it's just like it's the thing now.
Yeah. And
what's the player that said he wouldn't sit out for a game?
Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
Anthony Edwards, he was big on that. He basically said the same thing. People spend their hard-earned money to see these guys perform, and when they decide they want to take a day off, it's just not fair to them.
So the definition, people don't understand, like, being an athlete is a privilege.
It is.
It's not a right.
Yeah, it's a privilege, and that check that they're getting. I mean, these astronomical contracts that these guys are signing to take days off. It all okay. That math doesn't math to me. I don't understand it.
I hear you. But I mean, also, it's not that many people in the world that can do what they do. So anytime you got something, well, not that many people in the world, I don't care what it is. I don't care if we're talking about science or medical field or something like that, that can do what you do, you're going to get paid for it.
Definitely. And, you know, it's a big business. And, you know, you look at guys now, there's guys that don't even get in the game making $10 million a year. Don't even play.
That's insane.
Don't even play.
That's insane. That's
you know,
crazy.
so their mindset is different, you know, even with them getting fans kicked out of games now. So, like, if you talk too much trash or you say the wrong thing to a player, you can get them removed.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. And to me, it's like, again, you know, the society changes and every generation has their quirks about the younger generation, right? And they're not as tough as we were and all that. And every generation can say that. And I agree with that. Like, we're not as tough as our parents were. We just not. Right? So that, and I guess that's just what comes with the evolution of society. Like, you know, I think Draymond's had some fans kicked out. LeBron's had some fans kicked out. Russell Westbrook. And these are some of the tougher guys, I would say, in our league. And they can't take the scrutiny coming from fans.
Well, man, shoot, but isn't that a discussion that they're having even down at the, you know, like middle school, you know, like scholastic athletes? They're talking about not allowing parents to come into games and stuff like that. Isn't that a discussion too?
As far as,
you know, like
because of trash talking, or
because of trash talking, because how parents can get a little aggressive, and you know, just let the students play and not allowing parents in. That's a discussion that's on the table now too. So I don't know if that's a culture, if that's a something that's systemic of our culture now, or what.
That's a culture thing. Before I say what I'm gonna say, don't forget to call in 904-641-1010. But what I want to say too, man, it's crazy. So like, I remember playing basketball at the Blacktop. You know, everybody would come. We would come from all of our neighborhood areas, and we'd challenge each other and play basketball. And we didn't go back in the house and get a cold thing of water. We drink from a water faucet.
Yeah,
you know, you turn the water faucet on, wait till it get cold, and you drink from it. Nowadays, kids don't even play basketball unless they got air conditioning in the gym.
That's crazy.
I'm for real. I'm dead serious.
So they don't go outside and play anymore?
A lot of kids don't go outside and play anymore. Once you get to a certain level, I'm not talking about little kids. I'm talking about teenagers. No, they want to play in an air-conditioned gym.
So is that leading to the softness?
Of course. Of course. It's leading to the softness.
Yeah, I mean, let's just call it what it is, man. Like, you getting mad about somebody talking trash to you, and you out here making $50 million a year.
You're going to get all of this.
You're going to get all of it.
I just spent $150 on these tickets. And
more than that.
Listen, you're going to get all of this. Everything that I have to say, you're going to hear everything.
As a fan.
But who's governing this? Who's allowing this to happen, right? Is it the NBA owners? Is it the commissioner? Like, who puts their foot down and say, look, y'all a bunch of babies. Shut up and go play the game. Really, like, just go play, because, like, nobody wants to hear you complaining about a fan harassing you.
I got you,
regardless of what they say.
I got you, but me personally, I put everything on parents, man. I just do, man, because that's how we do our kids. We pamper our kids, man. Charmin, bro. Charmin. Oh, you did this, you did that. We just pamper our kids, man, and that leads to them being grown, pampered kids.
Yeah. I can see that.
Air-conditioned kids.
Air-conditioned kids.
That's what they call them. Air-conditioned kids.
Man, there's them kids not playing in the air conditioning, man. The kids out there in the neighborhood, they're playing ball.
No, not the athletes I see, man. They play only in air conditioning. I'm talking about athletes with a little bit of talent to themselves. They have ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Looks like we got a caller. Gene, how's it going, my man?
Man, a beautiful day in Duval County. Just wanted to chime in with you guys, man, on what the previous caller was talking about with fans.
You breaking up, Gene?
Definitely breaking up.
You breaking up?
All right, my fault. What about now? You got me?
Yeah, we can hear you a little better.
All right. So I just wanted to make a quick comment that definitely there's a generational toughness gap, and one of you guys said you could teach mental toughness. I have to differ on you with that because we're just not prepared. You're just not able to teach kids' mental toughness these days because it's they just don't have the fortitude and the mental toughness to handle it. I got 7 grandkids and 4 boys, and it just tears me up to go out to their events and see that they're out there playing around instead of focusing in on the game. And it's just a big difference today, in my opinion. I'm a 60s and 70s guy, so I just wanted to chime in on that.
Where do you think that comes from, though? That mentality.
It comes from society.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from where one of the callers said earlier. You can't just look at the guys in the NBA, like I said, they get people kicked out because of they can't handle a little bit of verbal abuse or constructive criticism. Either way, whatever adjective you want to put to it, they don't have the mental toughness to be able to compartmentalize that and continue to flow. Because back in my day, you had to deal with verbal abuse, not only from your coaches, your parents, different ethnic groups, and you couldn't let that interfere with what your goal was, the end game was, to be victorious, to be a winner. And it's just not something our kids today can handle.
Yeah. I got you. I got you. I want to comment on it. So, like, this is what I mean. I'm the one who said about you can teach mental toughness. I'm going to give you a total example. This is going to be like a far-fetched example, but I'm going to give you an example. So, my son was playing a game. We worked hard.
How old was he?
Trail was like, I don't know. He was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
He was in high school. And so we paying for his private school, right? We take him to Jerrian and paid for his training. I still owe Jerrian some money for that, by the way. But anyway, so he go to a game, right? A game, and he plays, right? And it's not the fact that he didn't play good. He didn't give effort. So he didn't give effort. So I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff for you, right? And you don't give effort. I don't care about winning or losing. I care about you just giving effort. So he comes out, everybody hugging him and stuff like that. He looks at me and says, Dad, can we go get something to eat? No, we're not going to get anything. You're going to eat what's at the house. Because the effort you gave and all the stuff I'm doing for you, we're going to eat at the house tonight. You know what I'm saying? You're going to fix a sandwich. I ain't even fixing your food. You're going to fix your own food. Like you got to be tough with your kids and stop, babying them. That's how you teach toughness. And you know what? Today, he was here, last month, and he still remember that. Because I used to just be tough on him. Not about winning or losing or performing well or unperforming well, but you're going to give effort. You're going to go out there and get it because I'm going out there and getting it for you. And I'm going to let you know that. So that as a parent, I feel like that's how you can instill toughness into your kids.
But a lot of it starts, too, when they're young because you develop their subconscious mind those first 5 to 6 years.
Yes.
So it starts then, right?
Yeah.
If you can develop them that mindset at a very, very young age, it'll matriculate over to, later on parts of life.
And I'm in 100% agreement with that, and that's just not in sports, though. That's what your education. Go to school, give your best, do your best. And that's in anything that you attempt to do. And when you find the thing that you're passionate about, that you love, then you go all in. You give 120%. You all in on it.
I mean,
that's one of the things.
All right, appreciate it, sir, man. Thanks for calling, man. Thanks for supporting the show. Yeah.
We got another call on the line, Marlon.
Yeah, man. I feel like, we basically made these kids with, there's little accountability. They don't. I mean, I understand the reason behind the whole anti-bullying campaign and all this, that, and the other, but you can't control the world. And while you're constantly trying to make these kids think that the bullies should shut up, you probably should get a little thicker skin. You probably should be able to deal with it a little bit better instead of you trying to make everybody shut up. Why don't you deal with adversity a little bit better?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm feeling about it. I feel like everything that we've done, we're pacifying these kids and making them soft.
100%. And how do you think it got to this point?
I mean, I feel like as kids get older, and as you got people saying, that that's not okay, that's not right, that's not okay, that's not right. Enough people say it. Then eventually somebody is over there saying, "Well, I'm going to do something about it."
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what has happened. You've had a whole bunch of people that have said, "Oh no, that's not right. You shouldn't be able to talk to them like that." It's like, okay, so now there's enough people that have said, okay, well, we're not going to allow that to happen anymore. And this is where we are right now. Too many people out there have got a whole lot to say about how we raise our kids.
Hey, so what you think we should do about it to change it up?
I mean, unfortunately, a lot of it is ingrained at this particular point. I mean, the only thing I feel like you should do at this point,
Yeah, privilege. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The only thing you can do at this particular point is you work on the next generation. I mean, you know, you're not going to be able to get these individuals to stop being who they are because they've become comfortable with this is their reality. So you're not going to change that. But what you can do is for the next generation, you know, stop making them so soft.
Stop buying them the brand newest video games. Stop buying them the new Jordans just because the new Jordans come out. So we one generation away from the not having stuff, right? So our parents and our grandparents, you know, they didn't have a lot. You know, they dealt with what they can deal with, and they did the best they could. So we went to our parents who gave us stuff that, you know, we kind of didn't have. We was moving on up like the Jeffersons and stuff like that. And then now it's us. You know, we have all this stuff. We have the time. We have money. We have more educational resources and all that kind of stuff. So we give our kids everything and don't make them work for anything. And that's what we see. This is the result of it.
But see that. But here's the thing. That's society. Tough times create tough men. Tough times create tough men. Yes. And we're living in a time that is not so tough. So softer times create softer children. Softer kids. So that's just that. Unfortunately, the last caller, he was right when he said it's society. Society lends so much to, you know, to this culture and what we got going on and what our experience is. This is a cushy time. This is a cushy time for our kids. They have more access to all kinds of things that, you know, that we couldn't even dream of. You know, I remember being a kid. We be gone all day long. Our parents didn't know where the heck we were. You know, that was just the nature of the beast growing up in the 70s and the 80s. But you know now,
and before the school, the street lights.
The whole street light gang. You know, but this crew here, they don't even go outside. My son, he'll go outside to, you know, shoot some ball, you know, right out in the, you know, courtyard. But as far as like going down the block and up the street and me not knowing where he is, no, that's not what's going on now. So unfortunately, it has, as you always advocate, as a parent, you have to put that tough. You got to create this. You got to create tough situations.
That's not there.
Yeah,
and it could be there.
So when Aiden comes off the basketball field at 13, basketball court at 13. And he didn't play well today. I'm gonna tell him you didn't play well today. You weren't focused. You didn't pay attention. You know, you didn't play hard. Yeah. And when he does play hard, you know, I'll reward him for that.
For sure.
But no, I'm not going to make this candy coated kid. You know, but again, that goes back to parenting. You got to take that role and responsibility.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man.
Hey, Carla, appreciate it. Appreciate you calling and supporting the show, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's what you said. I totally agree with that, man. And we just in the world today of just like you can be whatever you want to be. Like if your kid want to be a goat or he want to be a horse or he want to be like
right.
we just support them in whatever they do. And I don't know.
That's a whole nother conversation when you start talking about where you start. You could just
we need to have a show about that.
Whatever and whoever you want to be.
That
might be too touchy.
That might be a little too sensitive.
Yeah, we might get kicked off the air. But y'all know what we talking about. That's just that's the nature of the beast now. And that's the thing. You got to be so sensitive. Everybody is so sensitive. You can't say this. You can't say that. You know, I grew up with Archie Bunker, the Jeffersons, and I mean they were raw. Raw. Like you couldn't even watch this stuff now. So
yeah, it's crazy, and you know, but it's. Like that guy was saying, I think you do deal with the next generation. You know, my kids still are in that young and impressionable age, and I'm trying to get them to be, you know, different than the rest, you know, and make sure we instill certain values in them to be able to face this world because they're gonna be alone.
Yeah, we're talking
dealing with all this other stuff that's going on out here.
But let's not forget, man, we're gonna get a shout out to our brother, man, Chris Jones, man.
Oh yeah.
His dad passed?
Yeah, his dad passed this past week, and the same day that he had a game, and he still went out there and performed very well on the same day.
Talking about mentally tough?
That's what you call mentally tough. So Chris Jones is a local kid from Sandalwood High School. Played at Nebraska.
Yes,
played
sir.
a couple of years. Played like 5 or 6 years in the NFL. And is currently playing in the XFL. So he's representing the city very
Duval,
well.
yes, sir.
We're
We love
very
you, Chris,
proud of
man.
him.
We love you.
Yeah, man.
We love you, man. It takes a lot to be able to go do that, man. So
Yeah.
we wanted to send him a special shout out, man, and encourage him to just keep pushing.
Yeah, man. So listen, man, this has been a great episode. Listen, you guys, make sure that you tune in next week because we're going to be back here on, at Saturday at 11 a.m. You've been listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL. This segment was brought to you by Bank of England Mortgage Jacksonville, helping home buyers and homeowners accomplish their financial goals. Head on over to boejax.com and get to know their dedicated team. And remember, you've been listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Stay blessed up.